starters, Fred's getting cut out tomorrow. You know who Fred is? Fred is that thing between my eyes in the past like week and a half. So one of my customers, her granddaughter, did it out tomorrow for me. Told her, I was like, well, if she don't do it, I was gonna have my buddy Travis do it. So I'm gonna try to film it, but I don't know if you can put shit like that on YouTube. Maybe you can, like, educational purposes or something. I don't know. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna film it while she's doing it. But this lady I work for, her neighbor is a sheriff around here, and but today I just had to call him over and start, hitting him with all the questions, and like, it's just unbelievable to me that they really can't see it. He really cannot see what he's saying, and how fucked up his logic is. Guns always gets brought up because it's a big topic. And his logic was this. He believes that everybody has natural rights the government has no authority over. But, there's always a but. He said he doesn't arrest people for guns. If they're not in the commission of a crime with a gun, he doesn't arrest people for firearms. When he pulls people over, he don't even ask them if they have firearms on them. He said if he's pulling them over for speeding, he speeds. If they're not, he said if he smells weed and they're not weaving in and out of traffic and acting all crazy, he just ignores it. He just does his thing. Which is more power to him, man. Like I said, bravo. Kudos to you. When it comes to the guns, though, he will arrest somebody who merely has a firearm on them if they have a violent history. And his logic behind this is that he must enforce the law, but he just told me he doesn't arrest people for firearms violations. But his logic is that if we're to do something next week or next month with that firearm, and it was, brought to the attention of it's somebody that he had pulled them over and didn't arrest them, or caught them with it and didn't arrest them, that he would be held civilly liable for it. My answer to that was, or my comment to that was, we just had the conversation right before this too about people not caring about everybody else. I was like, I'll lose everything I got for you and not think twice about it. Don't give two fucks. I was like, but it's kind of a weird situation, because what I could say the same thing about the dude on the side of the road just being harassed by one of you motherfuckers, and that's how I talked to him too. You could tell he didn't like it very much. I said, but the person that I'm helping wouldn't even, that we're so lost in reality or in dystopia or whatever you want to call it, that they wouldn't even know how to react if I pulled over to help them. They would probably join in on the cop side. Well, what's stopping you from quitting now? So you're going to spend the next 2 years holding a position that I just proved to you constitutional. I did the $5,000 challenge with him. He did not accept. But he's one of those people, cops know everything. So he said, when I was talking to him, he said, so you're a sovereign citizen. I said, listen, dude, that's a made up fucking term that you and your gang buddies made up. It's an oxymoron. You motherfuckers are so stupid. That's exactly what I said to him. I said, you motherfuckers are so stupid. You don't understand that you can't be both sovereign and a citizen. Therefore, a sovereign citizen just doesn't exist. It's a made up term. He's like, well, you got to call it something. I said, well, let's call it what it is then. They're constitutionalists. And he agreed with me on that. He's like, yeah, I agree with you on that most of them are. I said, so let's call it what it is. Because he's my Second Amendment rights, he said that. My constitutional rights, he said that shit. I'm like, look, dude, and I explained it, broke it down to him, explained it to him, and he just could not grasp onto it, though. Like I've said, people are so concrete in their belief system, it's done. This is what we knew was done, and the new normal, big new normal, big air quotes, is, you don't want to do that. The new normal is that your kids are going to be fucking slaves, and we're going to allow it to happen. I just kind of told him, did you ever hear my name come across your desk for any reason? You should probably stay home that day if you don't want to kill me. And I told him the police are the problem. Because I said, do you believe that tyranny is possible? He said, well, yeah, you see it going on right now. Like, well, what's causing that? And of course, he pointed to the fucking Joe Biden. Joe Biden. You can't fix stupid. It's sad and it sucks. And it sucks. Like you can't. I guess moving here, I wasn't running from it because I was smart enough to know that you can't run from it. But I guess maybe I just didn't realize that it's here too, and it's just as bad, if not worse, as it is in the city. There's just less people. Anyway, I just told him, I was like, I don't bother nobody. If I'm doing 80 and a 55, just let me roll on. Like, I don't want a problem with you. Not because you're the neighbor of my lady I work for. Just because I don't want a problem with anybody. Just leave me the fuck alone. We got on the DUI topic, who's somebody drinking and driving bothering if they haven't bothered nobody. He's like, well, if somebody calls and they say you're swerving or you got a light out and I pull you over and I smell alcohol, I was like, oh, so you're going to pull somebody over because they got a light out and then arrest them because they're drinking. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Because it's about what could happen, right? He could hurt somebody. He could hit a van full of kids. Just like you could go fucking ape shit with your guns and wipe out a whole fucking school. It's the same fucking argument. But people are just too stupid to understand it. They can't put two and two together because in their minds, one has nothing to do with the other. When it does. It's the same argument. They've convinced you into arguing their argument for them. And like I said, supporting the same shit you claim to be against. So, Mr. Sheriff, the one that enforces laws on everybody, you're going to love this. My customer told me this. He didn't tell me this. He specifically asked, he mows lawns on the side. A lot of them. Like he's got his own little, he does his own little thing. He specifically asked her to pay in cash. Why is that? Why would he specifically ask her to pay in cash, do you think? Would it be to skate on the law, the tax laws, maybe? So it's okay if he decides to break the law and what he can justify why he's breaking the law. But if you break the law, he's going to uphold his oath. And he said it. My oath to the Constitution, the state of Tennessee, and to enforce the laws in this state. I'm like, well, what trumps what? He's like, they're all equal. I was like, well, they can't be all equal, motherfucker. You just said it yourself. You just said yourself that law trumps everything. Even with officer discretion. That's what's supposed to make that oath meaningful is officer discretion. You just said that you got to enforce the law, but sometimes you don't enforce the law. But then you have no choice but to enforce the law. But then you break the law yourself. Pigs are funny. Funny pigs. Anyway, I gotta go. I got firewood to round up and split the shit, so I will holler at you all later. You have a great day and stay safe. Peace.